SU evidence not admissible. That's the Vanguard. The writer says, Justice Okoro's 7-man ex-court panel reserves verdict on Atiku Obi's appeal. Another writer says, there are conflicting letters from CSU. Another writer also says on the same story, why courts should overlook technicalities. That is the major story on the Vanguard. Now there's another story that says Nigerian wins $11 billion P&ID case in UK. That can be found on page 9 of the Vanguard. And then on page 4, there's another story that said FCC approves $5 billion annual humanitarian poverty alleviation trust fund. And another story says on page 8 that in Kogi State that the Supreme Court affirms Ododo as APC candidate.
And now to the Guardian newspaper. The major headline reads, host communities kick as proposed PIA review shrinks 3% allocation. Well, you found that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. I still staying with Guardian newspaper. Another front page headline reads, APC kicks as Supreme Court reserves judgment in Atiku Obi's appeal. You find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Another headline reads, P&ID $11 billion award against Nigeria obtained by fraud. Tinubu hails a victory. That story you find on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Following that directly reads, Tinubu targets a $1 trillion economy, hopeful of $10 billion inflow to ease FX crisis. The story is on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Well, gentlemen, what strike me really about today's paper is looking at the Daily Sun. There is a strong message on fuel scarcity, saying that fuel scarcity may worsen as 86 firms dump petrol import permit over forex tax. What do you make out of? He's still talking about fuel scarcity, and NNPCL still telling us, government telling us that there's no need for panic, and what we can say is that most filling stations, they're not really selling.
Our refineries are not working, and then the importers are going all the way out to make life easier for Nigerians. I don't think the taxes should be so tasking on them. They should make it easier for these importers, especially with the forex exchange. They should make it cheaper for them to be able to make fuel available, and also make their profits also, yes, because they can't spend all that much on forex, and at the end of the day they lose out. A businessman goes out to do business because they want to make profit. So absolutely, the government should look into this and make sure the exchange rate at which they give to these importers is reasonable.
You know, we've always talked about it, that the enabling environment for investors and importers is not there. And I mean, these guys are going through a lot, and so it is not far-fetched that we are still having this crisis, even though what the federal government is telling us contradicts what's on the streets. I mean, it's so unfortunate. Nigerians are going through a whole lot with the economic situation, and adding lack of fuel to it may just worsen the situation.
Well, I think there is another interesting story this morning, still with the Daily Sun, which reads, Federal Executive Council approves a setting up of Poverty Alleviation Trust Fund to remit $5 billion annually to the fund. OK's draft policy, solid minerals development. Federal government has approved setting up a Poverty Alleviation Trust Fund.
It's a good plan. It's really a good plan. But will it not go the way of the palliatives during the COVID? That's the question, because
that's a very critical question.
Yes, they actually constructed humongous warehouses where they stored food. They actually spent money on food. What beats me is, why didn't this food get to the public? Now you're setting out a certain amount of money now for poverty alleviation. I just pray you do the needful and make it work.
We've seen the federal government come out many times to say they are setting up these funds, they are setting up free food, they are setting up so many things.
Loans.
And loans, you know,
Yes.
and the citizens are not getting these things. You know, so talk is cheap. This is a good initiative, but systems should be put in place to ensure that it is well implemented. That's all we're saying.
Absolutely, I quite agree with you, because it appears that most cases government always have the starting point, but the finishing is always a challenge. And I think over time we should have grown beyond the state. You know of even the students' loan that's been approved by this sitting government. I still hear people that we're hearing about how cumbersome it is for you to still get the loan. So why approve certain funds, or you approve monies for people, for citizens, and at the end of the day it does not get to
the
this
grassroots.
citizens. And so just like you said, I think the best way to go now is how best can government ensure that the purpose for which it's been started is being implemented. That finishing touch is what is needed. It's not enough for us to just talk. Like you said, talk is cheap.
Yes.
But implementation is very critical, not even with the state of the economy now.
Absolutely.
Because assistance like this is very needed, and these citizens must get it. I remember the trader money. The trader money thing, in some areas they got it, in some areas it doesn't get there. So how do you ensure even distribution
yes.
of all of these monies is very critical. And then another one, the federal government will achieve $1 trillion economy target in 2026. Vows to clear forex backlog.
You see, you don't just come out and vow over the economy. There are projections, there are researches that you can only project. We are projecting that between so time and so time, anything can happen. There are a lot of, our economy is not stable. There are a lot of demand and supply, inflation, so many economic factors that should be considered by economists and by the government before we can make certain projections. Now, if we call you out on this in 2026, that you have not been able to fulfill your mandate, I mean, so that's what we're talking about. Is this a vision? Are they certain with where our epileptic economy is? Can you come out and boast that between now and so time we will do this, we will clear backlogs? For me, I don't think it's realistic.
There was on the global economic outlook forecast yesterday, which says that Nigeria will have a very stable economy by the year 2075. And for me, that is amazing. For me, it's laughable. You're talking of 2075. What happens from 2023? Then you're talking about
50 years from now.
75. For me, it just shows that it seems we are not very serious as a people.
If we are going to achieve that in 2075, then we should start putting systems in place now, structures that would work. Enough of these prayer points. All I see is wishes. We are hoping, we are wishing that if enough. These are economic situations. We have to be realistic. Put systems in place. That's what the Westerners are doing. Imagine they already know those that want to host 2030 World Cup, and they are working towards it. The economy, the people, everybody. Exactly. So you don't just come out and say, okay, I've heard it so many times. By 2025, Nigeria will be. It's almost 2025. We heard it some years ago that by 2020, by 2023, this is 2023 wrapping up. So that's what I'm talking about. Let's be realistic
with ourselves.
Let's set projections that are workable. Let's have visionaries and let's put systems in place. Enough of these wishes, enough of these prayer vigils and prayer points. It's not working anymore.
All right, our viewers, this is likely to be what we are going to put a stop to. Paper review, just ensure that you get all of these dailies of course, to keep yourself informed of what is happening in the country and also beyond. Yes, you remember yesterday we talked about flooding, how most houses have been submerged by this flooding, and we also called on the Commissioner for Environment, who is believed to be very busy, and we just hope that before the week runs out, we're able to get the say of the Lagos State government. You saw those who were brought here, the victims of flooding in the Sherry Estate, who came here and spoke, in length in regards to what their experiences are, and they also pointed an accusing finger on the Lagos State government to say they're hearing from the Ogun State government, which was also very evident on our program yesterday, where we had the Commissioner for Environment and President of Olawore Soya, who stayed almost to the end of the program and responding to the concerns of the victims, the flood victims. So right about now, we will take a short break, and when we return, it will be time for us to look at a market closure and ban on street trading in Lagos State. Stay with us.
Family ties, a thorn in the flesh.
We need to remove him, otherwise we are going to be in trouble. You must kill him today, not tomorrow. Today!
There's a handsome prize on your head, and if you can top it, you walk free.
She's even awake. She's awake?
Will you stop that? And don't you dare repeat that again.
What is she doing?
I don't know.
My son is nowhere to be found and you asked me to relax. I can't.
So we're not going to eat?
You have to eat. Look at you. So you actually want to eat that food?
The way this food is smelling, I think it's really going to be delicious.
Oh my son! Oh my son!
What are you doing here?
I will not let you send her out.
She's your rival, you know.
I know she's your wife, and I know it's not right for you to treat her like that.
You heard me. Send yourself out before I come back to this house.
High Chief Major General Jones. Good evening.
What is good about this evening? Huh?
What happened now?
Don't mind them. You're not going anywhere. You stay.
Please. Please. What are you doing out of bed?
I needed a drink.
You could have called me.
I'm not the father of a thief. And that is what your son is. A thief. Stole the document to my house and sold it. And I swear, he's going to rot in jail.
It's okay, baby.
It's not okay.
Hello? Hello?
Family ties, a thorn in the flesh.
Now, because they fight all of them, it is always good to live in peace with our neighbor.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Yay! 25 years.
When people from different backgrounds live together, there is bound to be disputes of boundary, shared amenities. Your favorite TV comedy drama is now wearing a new look as Face to Face rebranded.
Hey, Ajani.
Yes, guy.
There is problem in the house. Your brother wife, the carry man, come house.
Lie. It no go happen. My brother wife. See, now me supposed to inherit that woman. No.
Baby Julius.
Baby
Julius. Baby.
Wait. I've been expecting this.
The man is.
I've been expecting this. I've been expecting this.
Starring your favorite star actors. Face to face rebranded.
Mama Sule! Mama Sule! If you don't get this your rubbish off my precious baby now, I will throw it away.
Reach to the sky, ladies and gentlemen!
Demand attitude.
I am Salahuddin.
Demand excitement. Demand action.
Some school of thoughts believe the major challenges confronting Nigeria as a nation is caused by poor leadership. How true is this? You and I can actually put government into tools to deliver the dividends of democracy. Join us every Saturday by 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let us look at the issues confronting us as a nation together with talk heads. Nigeria can be great again. I'm Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. Keep it date. Well, it's so glad to have you again. You're still watching U45 Morning Show. Like we told you earlier, yesterday on the program, we looked at flooding in Lagos and Ogun State, and also how residents are being affected, and you saw them here live. We also had the Commissioner for Environment, Ogun State, and as a result, as of yesterday after the program, we saw that the governor of Ogun State, under the leadership of Governor Dapo Abiodun, went there, in trying to be swift. They had declared a state of emergency over that particular areas, and so we will. You see that now. I want you to see what happened there, where the Ogun State governor himself and his entourage visited that very vicinity, the Isheri estates and all other estates around that environs. And I just hope that at least the residents of that area would heave a sigh of relief based on this declaration. And I hope that the appropriate quarters would immediately do the needful such that we don't have recurrence of these disaster, because what we see here is disaster. You know that the people also confirmed yesterday that they already have recorded 4 casualties. So in order not to record a more casualty, a state of emergency has been declared. I also said on the program that we are hoping to hear from the Lagos State government, because they have accused the Lagos State government of being very insensitive. Now, interestingly, today, so right now, let's just quickly take a listen to what the governor, how he addressed the residents of that area.
For the value, I first want to offer my deepest sympathies with respect to the flooding that you are currently experiencing. This is a very heart-wrenching and heartbreaking situation to witness. We need to find a comprehensive, wholesome approach to dealing with the issues. I have come, I have seen. I can see water to almost the waist level of some people. And I hear there's some places that are even deeper. That's so deep that they almost get to the shoulder level of people. The Honorable Commissioner for Works will come here. I requested for an aerial survey of this entire estate so we can identify the critical areas that we need to immediately intervene in. And that intervention will be by coming here to put in place drainages and a road infrastructure that would be elevated such that this problem will be resolved. So we believe that if we join hands together to resolve this problem, not only will the problem be resolved, but the value of real estate here will also increase. So it will be a win-win for everyone. So I want to assure you today, knowing fully well that we are a promise-keeping administration. We do not say what we don't mean, and we will not make promises that we will not keep. I have come to see this again, second time. I'm sure that before the end of the week, I will also table this before the Vice President and also Mr. President as well, so that we ensure that this problem gets all the desired attention and also consequently gets the desired solution so that we can bring this to an end.
Well, I think this is quite commendable. This is what we say about government, the need for you to be sensitive to the plight of your citizens. After all, they say that democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. This is commendable. Let me say well done to the Ogun State government, and I hope the Lagos State government will also do the same. And now, precisely on September 29, 2023, the Lagos State government announced its decision to begin to close markets and also enforce its law on street trading and what have you, ban on street trading. And now the Lagos State government's announcement has been greeted with the reactions from different quarters. While some Lagos residents say the Lagos State government decision is a right step in the right direction, others have welcomed it with strong defense of views in justification of the government's action. On the part of the Lagos State government, wielding its big stick on the traders is in pursuant of the Lagos State Environmental Management Law of 2017. According to government, it has become very imperative to enforce this law due to a flagrant disobedience and arbitrary violation of the Lagos State Street Trading and Illegal Markets Law of 2023. Yes, this is where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. We want to look at it, want to critically look at this very ban on street trading and closure of markets, because for some of the traders, they see it as a tribal war in Lagos State. Today, to help us look into this very issue, now being joined by Comrade Declan Yekare. He is an activist. A veteran activist for that matter.
Thank you so much, Nike.
Good morning.
Morning, too.
Okay, comrade, let's really look at the market closure in Lagos State. We've experienced so many markets have been closed. My 12 market, Oyido, Alaya, Biagba, yeah, that's the boundary market. Ladipo, Ilepo, and Alaba markets. Just recently, no, I think 2 days ago, Alaba market too was shut. What's your reaction to this? A very closure of markets?
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to state clear that I'm not here as the mouthpiece of the government. I'm rather here as the mouthpiece of what is right, balancing issues. That's why I'm a right activist, and moreover I'm a veteran activism. And I want to say clearly that if a law has been put in place and such laws are not being obeyed, is like an open invitation to lawlessness. You just read out now that a particular law was put forward by Lagos State government, and I'm also aware of the fact that whenever before laws have been put forward, there's always this public hearing and all those things where stakeholders will be invited. I remember when the street trading thing was to be enforced or to be enacted the law. Stakeholders were invited. I was among those who critiqued the government then and said, no, you can't just go restricting people from doing street trading and all those things without due process. And we were also invited to the hearing. And we made our position clear that, look, before you do that, certain things has to be put in order. And that was what led to the introduction of 19 vocational centers in Lagos State, where residents, without minding where you're from, can enroll, graduate and be empowered by the state. And at this point in time, it's like subsequent governments have not really taken into cognizance that laws that are made should be enforced. And so this present government now coming forth to say, look, this laws has been there. I didn't just come forth to start carrying them out. We need to do the needful. And I look at it from people who don't really want to do the needful, they're citizens, by critiquing the government and saying the government is anti-people, they're anti-masses, they're tribalistic and all those things. When you bring in tribal sentiment into most of these things, somebody like me will not be free. I will be comfortable. Ilepo market was shut down. Ilepo market is a missed market. My 12 was shut down. It was a missed market. I'm from the southeast. Alaba is shut down. My people are there. Aspadan is shut down. My people are there. And so we should not bring in ethnicity into most or some of the policies of the government. I am aware I'm from the southeast, like I said. Okada has been restricted in some states. For instance, in Owerri Township, you can't find an Okada there. So when such policies come to Lagos, you see people critiquing, no, we should allow Okada apply. Why not go home and find out if those things are also applying your streets? So we must be fair. When the government is right, we tell the government is right. When they are wrong, we tell them they are wrong. And there's nothing they can do about it.
Now, Comrade, you said some years ago that the government made provisions for street traders when they were taken out of the streets to give them a project where they go and learn and then enhance themselves and then, be productive. Now, was this arrangement sufficient enough for the citizenry? Did they have enough slots for the citizens? Because there are a lot of people in the streets. That means this project did not touch their lives.
Thank you. It's a very good question. I'm aware of the existence of those vocational centers, in as much as I'm also aware of the existence of primary schools and secondary schools. I still find pupils roaming the streets. Okay? Roaming the streets. Why? Because they refuse to patronize those places, feeling there's no need for such places. Okay? It will be against the government if such provisions are not made. But if such provisions are made, it lies on us as citizens to make use of such facilities. And when you make use of such facilities and government has promised we're going to empower you after your course, and you get in there, you are done with your course and you're not being empowered, you can come out and say, yeah, why I'm on the street doing this is because I attended so vocational center and now I'm out, but there's no empowerment, and the government will be embarrassed with the latter.
That's a good one, but was there enough awareness?
Very well. I'm aware of the fact that when that law was passed, there were so many radio announcements and all those things, and I think that calls for a proper information dissemination by our agencies too. I know of National Orientation Agency of those days, and I also know that some state governments also have such agencies, and I think information should be disseminated rightly to the people that are in need of it.
Now it's alleged that the Alaba market was closed at night and not in the daytime. Why?
Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the spokesperson of the state, but I'm aware that governments can do anything at any time. There's no restriction of timing in making sure the right things are done.
Okay, Comrade, you see, this is my concern. Government should be about the people. And you're aware that most of these individuals that engage in street trading, even the markets, women and men who seem to be, who seem to disobey the laws guiding the markets, most of them are illiterates. Now, if the government rely on radio and television, don't you think at the time this information might be on air, these people are already on the street selling and doing all of that?
Yeah, interesting. I'm aware, and I've witnessed severally when some of these people will be arrested and taken to the mobile courts in Ikeja, Oshodi, I have been there to also speak on behalf of some of those people. And I remember vividly that the magistrates will always make reference to the fact that, look, they are vocational centers. But you find out that most of the people, most of the time that have been arrested are serial committal of this offense. I think I must say clearly that our people are quick not to obey laws. And we are quick to say that, oh, the economy is bad. Because the economy is bad, we will not obey the law. And I say to you, if the economy is bad, there's no job, there's nothing, then go and engage in robbery. Okay? Go and engage in high criminality and see if the law will not catch up with you. But I'm also using this opportunity to talk to our government, beyond Lagos State government, that they should do everything possible to make sure that the people must breathe, the masses must breathe, and they must be considerate and understand the fact that they are there as people representing the mass of the people. And so the government should do the needful and make sure that every citizen in this country gets what he or she ought to get, and not to be self-centered. And if that is done, I believe we'll get a better society.
Okay, I'd like to ask you, you said government should do the needful. What do you consider as the needful, considering the caliber of people that we are talking about? Because really, if the Lagos State government comes out to say yes, there are vocational centers and all of that, are you aware that these are people that can barely also feed, especially those doing street trading? So how do you expect them to transport themselves from one location then to that very vocational center?
Yeah, interesting. You see, the thing is this: we must also understand the danger these people also go through. The street traders, we should also understand the danger they go through. Most of them, the wares they sell sometimes is not to 3,000 naira or 4,000 naira. You see them running between cars here and there. I've had cause to have almost hit one someday, and I had to match on the brake. While I did that, other vehicles behind me had a collision, behind, and that was quite expensive for me, and I could not explain it. And the other guys behind me could not explain it too, or because somebody was trying to sell plantain chips in the traffic. So there are dangers also involved in all these things.
No doubt.
Okay, traffic, accidents. Okay, and sometimes you find out that some of these people also disguise as traffic market sellers, and they do funny things. But you see, it's a fact that we must respect the law. We just have to respect the law. We must do everything to respect the law. Laws are made to be obeyed, and if government comes out to say so law is made, it should be obeyed, and we should endeavor not to attach sentiment, ethnicity. It will not help us, because in some states I'm aware that you can't do street trading. In this Nigeria, you can't. I'm aware that in some states you can't even do street begging. Okay, so we must balance issues. We must exonerate ourselves from this let's pull him down, attacking syndrome and all those things. No, we must get it right.
Okay, comrade, in trying not to be sentimental in issues like this, because for the traders in the Alaba market, this is what they are saying, that it's about ethnicity, war. And you want to also wonder why the Lagos State government didn't do anything before the election and what have you. And after the election that they are now in power, that is the time that they decided to clamp down on these people. How would we be able to justify that indeed it is not a kind of ploy or a payback time for what many of the people in Alaba markets did?
Yeah, thank you. You see, that's why I said we should divorce ourselves from the fact of bringing ethnicity into it. I'm aware that Alaba market is predominantly occupied by the southeast, but that's not to say that there are no other tribes there. Other tribes are there, and we should not also forget that why the Alaba market sellers are making their money. The state government, the local governments to also make their money through revenues they collect from them. So if the market is short, it affects the governments too. Okay, it's also affect the marketers. It also affect those that are coming to buy. So it's a triple thing. So we should not just base it on ethnicity. My 12 was short. My 12 is basically occupied by northerners. Ile-Epo is mostly occupied by northerners and westerners, and westerners. So we should just exonerate ourselves from such sentiment. It will not all go well. I'm aware that in some states too, outside Lagos State, okay, markets are also being shut. Some time ago, Anambra State, some markets were shut, and they were predominantly dominated by the Igbos. Should we now say, oh, the government is anti-Igbos? No. But the most important thing that I must say here today is that some agencies that are under the state government, that because most of those markets are shut, are being closed down because of filthiness, because they claim that the environment in those markets are dirty. There's an agency called Loma. Okay, the government should put its searchlight on Loma. Loma should wake up and do the needful. I was coming right away now in Oshodi. I saw heaps of refuse that could cause epidemic.
Yes.
And we have an agency in the state. I remember in those days, the agencies work late in the night. Before morning, those dirty are off the street. Now, go to most markets, go to Lepo, go to Oshodi, go to Alaba, go to my 12. You see the heaps right there in the market, and there's an agency of the state that should do the needful. You see, I want to appeal at this point in time. The governor cannot be anywhere. We cannot be everywhere at the same time. That's why we have agencies, and we are individuals who sees all these things. We should draw the attention of the agencies to that fact. If they don't have enough equipment, they should cry out. I've said this time without number. If you don't have enough manpower to do the needful, they should cry out and not allow the government to wield the big stick on the market, who claims that they also make payments to these agencies. And hence, if the government finally find out that payments are also made to this agent, not to Loma now, but to PSPs who does the job, who are licensed by Loma to operate. If that is correct, then the government should also penalize those ones. But I think why government is doing what it's doing, because most of those places are open places where people do buying and selling, and we know how diseases, escalate.
Yes. Okay, I was coming there before you now spoke towards that direction. But one would wonder, like the market women and men are also saying that the Lagos State government, yes, is interested in ensuring that the environment is clean. But then again, the government agency, Loma themselves, how much of cleaning do they do? They are being paid, and these market women and men are also saying that the government is a way of also making money. When they shut their market, they have to take money to them for them to reopen the market.
Yeah, it's not really the issue of taking money to the government. It's a kind of fine. It's a penalty. And that's why I said that the government should look into that aspect too, so that the good name of the government will not be rubbished as an agency that as a state that just goes after shutting down markets, after paying fines, then you reopen those markets. Those things that led to the closure must be looked into. If the markets are dirty, why are they dirty? The stakeholders in the market should be able to tell the government that this is why the market is dirty. We are paying these people, we are paying those people, but they are not doing the needful. And that's why I said there's an agency of government that should do the needful. And I tell you, even this morning while I was coming, who should the market just on the road there is an eyesore. An eyesore. It was not like that before. And I repeat it here, in those days, you drive out late in the night. Even if your house is close to the road, you'll be hearing sound of trucks moving, and that is the Loma. They are doing the needful, and if that is done, I can assure you, what I saw in Oshodi this morning, I wouldn't have seen it. Okay, how will you feel? You woke up in your house and you're coming to the market and you just find heaps of refuse? It's totally against the people and against the state government itself. Lagos State is the center of excellence, and everything about Lagos State should be about excellence. And whoever or whatsoever agency is trying to rubbish the effort of the government, I think such an agency should be checkmated.
All right, thank you, Comrade Declan. I will have to hold you on there. Viewers, you're still watching the 45 morning show.
Right about now,
we will have
a security expert join us on the program to look at the security implication of
this very ban. So, stay with us.